Hey guys, it's good to see you once again. This is Wednesday, September the 9th, and we are continuing our devotional series on the helmet of salvation. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about worry. Now, on Sunday, Pastor Matt actually talked a little bit about how when the enemy comes at us, he comes at us and he just takes those lies and he just pounds it into us until just in that same place over and over again until he can break through, and we'll partner with him in those lies. And a lot of times I feel like that's what worry does in our lives. How worry just constantly is on our minds, and that's what our minds just consistently go to is those things that are really so deeply concerning to us that we can't think about anything else except for that situation at hand. But in Matthew 6:27, it says, "Can you add even 1 hour to your life by worrying?" So a lot of us, we don't want to worry because we know that we can't add to our lives by worrying, but it's hard for us to not worry. So today I wanted to actually take you through a helpful tool, and it's an idea that I actually got from Dr. Caroline Leaf. She is a brain researcher, and she's written several books. I've read a couple of them, and they've been amazing. So if you want to look her up, that's, again, Dr. Caroline Leaf. So this idea actually came from her, and she talks about taking a worry break. And so I'm going to take you through what a worry break looks like. If you could get out a journal, your journal would be like, even if it's the journal that you've been using for all of your other devotionals, but just a journal that you'll have with you pretty much any time during the day. And throughout the day, if anything that you consider to be a worry, a concern, or something that's making you feel anxious, I just want you to write it down. By doing this, you're actually acknowledging that those emotions are valid. You're not denying them or suppressing them, but you're actually just saving them for a later time that you can actually give your full attention to them. A lot of times when we worry about something, it comes at a very inconvenient moment when you're in the middle of something else and you can't really give your full attention to ask yourself, why God, why am I worrying about this? So if you write those down, it's actually giving yourself permission to actually lay those aside for that moment so that you can come back to them later when you have your full attention on them. Make sure that when you carve out 15 minutes each day for your worry break, you do this every day, so it becomes a consistent pattern in your life, so that you can consistently just, when you do this over and over again, those worries and those concerns that you have, you'll start giving them to God each day, and the burdens will become less and less because you'll realize, oh wait, today is another day and I have that 15 minutes today to give those worries to God. And so it will just become a habit for you. During this 15 minutes, ask God to be with you, to create an awareness that He is present. Remember that God is bigger than all of our problems, all your problems, all of the problems of that each one of us faces. Remember that He is trustworthy and that He is good. And maybe you should take some time beforehand to just spend some time in adoration, just remembering who God is, that He's for you, not against you, and that He's your friend and that He wants to partner with you in all of these things. So then for the next 15 minutes, I want you to invite God into your worries. And you can actually take action into this by actually taking that journal and holding it into your hands and lifting it up to God and saying, God, I give you my worries. And then just start partnering with God and asking Him questions. Ask Him, God, why am I worried about this? Or, God, what is the root of this worry? But don't just ask Him the questions and move on. Sit and listen and find out what He has to say about the worries that are burdening you. Then I want you to just use your imagination. A lot of times when I am giving something to God, something, a lie or something that a fear, something that doesn't need to be in my life, I see those as darkness that I'm handing over to God. And God is the God of light. That's one of his names is light. And so when you're handing it to him, like I see him as just an immaculate, intense white light standing before me, and I hand these things over to him, and he takes them and he'll put them at the core of who he is, and I watch as those worries are incinerated by his light. Some of the fear, or some of the roots of worry are fear. They're lies that the enemy has told to us over and over and over again. They can be rejection, they could be wounds, disappointment, or lack of hope, or anything else that he reveals to you. So once these 15 minutes are over, you're done for the day. So even if you have a worry that comes up 5 minutes later, you don't have to worry about that. You can just write it down in your journal. You're going to have another 15 minutes tomorrow to worry about that with God. When you're first starting this, if you have extra time and God wants to actually take you deeper into some of these worries, into some of these lies that you're being plagued with, then take that time and just remember that your worry break is really about you coming alongside of God and partnering with him and having that friendship with him to actually talk to him about your worries, to give your full attention to that time, so that you can actually find out what the root of that is, and just be covered in his love in that time, just to be covered in his presence, to be covered in his hope, to be covered in his faithfulness. And when you aren't thinking about those things, when you write those things down and you're not in the middle of your worry break, just remember that God is so trustworthy that he has actually taken those burdens on, those cares upon himself. And he is so much better at solving those problems than we are. And so we can trust him to take those things on upon himself, and we don't need to worry about them at all. But in those times that we are worried, he wants to come alongside of us in that worry. So I just hope that is a tool that you can use, and that will be a blessing to you in your walk forward. So thank you, and have a wonderful week.